Good morning, everybody. New week, new intro. New week, new intro. It's Dr. Vibe
very
here.
Slick, very slick.
All right. Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner and 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care, and being part of that team in 2022 and 2021, reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. As I always like to say, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. How did everyone like the new intro? Did they like it? What did you like? Did you like it, Brian?
I thought it was excellent. It's shorter than the previous one, so
Yes.
I got to send out my notifications quicker now.
Yes. You got to be quick on the fire, but definitely we got more new stuff coming along. And big shout out to our intern Jess, she's just doing so many wonderful things for the Dr. Vibe Show, for the Morning Vibe. While she's here, she is just making a great positive impact. So we have her for the next few months, and she loves the Morning Vibe. She goes, I love the Morning Vibe. I love the Morning Vibe. So she's beginning to create some YouTube shorts of the Morning Vibe also.
Evolution.
So it's been really, really good having her on board. So big shout out to Jess. And I told her I was going to shout out when it premiered. So Jess, I hope you're watching, or if not, on the replay. So Mr. Knight, what's going on?
Yeah, I love the back to mild weather. And for those that don't know who I am, my apologies. I'm one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, and I'm also an entrepreneur, the Detailing Nights, that provide mobile waterless car cleaning. We have our first info session for the new season for those that are looking for summer work and also looking for an entrepreneurship opportunity. So definitely send me your high school students and your college students that are having trouble finding work. March 1st. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
not that far away.
Literally like 2-ish weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Absolutely. So
I feel like we'll bring in the spring. We'll bring spring with us as we get ready for the car cleaning season.
Good. Before we go any further, let's make sure we do this. So this episode of The Morning Vibe is sponsored by the Macmillan Group, providing mortgage solutions, one client at a time since 1999. Buying, refinancing, or investing, call them in Canada, 905. Well, actually, yeah, you can call them 905-813-4354, US 904-586-5636. You can also visit them there right on the website, the Macmillan Group Inc.com. So always want to say thank you so much to the Macmillan Group for the continuous support. And also too, just want to show here, you can contact, there's 2 phone numbers, Canada, US, and also they have a toll-free number, 866-883-0885. Actually, it's interesting. We're going to chop it up a bit, but people, if you have anything you want to chat about today, please bring it to the digital table. A lot of different conversations. I know Ryan and I are going to go deep into some Olympics in a few moments.
But Louis call it the funding Olympics.
Well, Louis, it's now at the real high level, the funding Olympics.
Oh yeah.
Before we go any further, I know some people have chimed in, so I want to say hello. Good morning, Destiny Savory. You had a great weekend. You had a good weekend. It got warmer. So it was really good. It was really good. And Christopher Lawrence, good morning, Vibe and Night. Good morning, Mr. Lawrence. Still waiting for something from you. Fitness IQ Cam. I saw her at a funeral on Saturday, so it was good to see Fitness IQ Cam again. Wayne Harris, powerhouse. Actually, I was in a conversation yesterday with a lady who's in commercial real estate. I mentioned Wayne Harris's name. She goes, You know him? And he's good. I go, yeah, I known him for like 30 plus years.
Nice.
So,
Yes.
so good to hear, Wayne, as always. Hope, especially that your dad is doing okay, Wayne and family. And Fitness IQ Camp says, please bring back spring quick. Yes. Well, it looks like we're going to get,
We will do
it's
our
going to get
part.
better this week. Going to get better this
That
week.
polar vortex licked
Ooh.
hard.
Ooh.
I was like, but it was
tell-
true to form. It was like before it was mild, and then bam, winter hit, and then now it's mild again. Like, what kind of wind came through?
Oh, the wind. The winter from the
meteorologists have to
north
explain
to
that.
the south.
Yeah,
We went from white to brown on the ground. Like it's just like, well, like you looked. I'm beginning to see the brown grass again. That like 2 weeks ago, I saw the brown grass. So it was so cool. So yeah, I had a good conversation, a lot of good conversation this weekend. One with the latest in commercial real estate, talking about this whole. I wasn't familiar, and I'm just being Toronto centric for the moment. We're gonna get Canada wide in a moment, but this whole Ontario subway line. Have you heard about
the building?
She was telling me about it. What, my opinion alone, waste of money. Why do we just me? They're doing a subway line in the eastern part of the metropolitan Toronto. Like, I don't get it. I don't. And it's going to connect with the. I don't get it.
Well, this is where the same pushback about the new highway that they want to build, but this is like, so it's catch-22, because we say our subway system is really far behind because we hadn't been building, but then are we building in the right places to actually progress as expansion is happening? Because the expansion's in the east, and how Durham and expanding even past Durham Eastern, that's probably why subway lines going on that side. I don't know like the full schematics and the full projections, but like, I'm sure somebody smarter than me has figured this out.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, how many people from the eastern part of Metro travel into work? Like now,
that's the good question, because now
with so many people working from home, and then also, first of all, I think the only people that use downtown transit, people, the majority, I wouldn't say everybody, the majority of people are people who live downtown.
Well, no, people have to get downtown. Like a lot of people work suburbs. Remember, Brampton's, Brampton's known still as the, what do they call it? The headrest, like it's like a housing city. Like people just live
commuter resident.
Yeah, so they just live in Brampton and commute downtown. That, listen, the 410 is a mess because people coming back.
I stay off that highway. I stay off. It's as worse or worse than the Don Valley Parkway.
It definitely is challenging, and they've fully renovated it. I would say it is a little bit better than futures past, but yeah, it's still heavy. But we have 600,000 people plus in Brampton.
Hold on, you're a joker though. You make it sound like you still live there. You don't live there.
Hey, my heart is there. I still have my I Love Brampton shirt. They didn't revoke my Brampton pass. I still have properties in Brampton, so I'm still connected. So
Ben can't get out of Brampton. He loves his Northwest Territories.
Yes. So I'm telling you, still repping.
So,
and quick note, we did have our first Fridays event in Brampton at the Empowered for X office. So shout out to those that came through, Richard Adokesi and Miriam from Canada Vendors, who we should actually get on the show. She's doing.
They follow me on on YouTube. I said I had never heard about them before. So if you do you know any contact information?
Yes, I'll definitely make that connection.
Okay. And actually on Friday, when it was Polar Vortex Day, I went out myself and associate. We went to a really great vegan restaurant in Whitby called Vegan Delights by Lisa Ann. Had some there's your card, Lisa Ann. There you go. Vegan Delights. It was really put it here. There's the information. I don't know if people can see it.
They
Lisa
have
Ann.
vegan oxtail yet? I need to know.
No,
I
but the
can't
food,
convert then. I can't convert.
the food was really, really good. And there was a dessert place beside it, and I have to reach out to this lady called One More Cocoa.
Yes.
Tanisha Lewis, have you heard of it?
Yes, they were part of ACBN's business cohort.
Okay.
And their chocolate is
Well, she told us that
it's
now
amazing.
they supply HelloFresh.
Yeah, so she was working on that contract.
That is huge.
Huge.
That is huge. So I said,
Shout out.
yes, we definitely have to get you on the show.
So I would drive to go get that when I was still living in Brampton.
And now you're closer.
And now definitely closer. So we brought the kids, and very unique chocolate blends.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. But that's some of the stuff. Actually, I had an internet outage yesterday, and I had 2 live shows yesterday. One at 5 p.m. I had Black Canada talking with Sarah Youngo. That was great. Finished around 5 after 6. 6:15, internet goes down. I go,
oh snap!
And I had a show last night, State of Things. We didn't do it on Saturday. We did on Sunday. We're doing it on yesterday on Sunday. So I've been around a little bit. So I do the, unplug the modem, plug it back in. It's not working. I'm going, what am I going to do here? Like, I don't want to cancel the show.
Yeah.
So, hey, Dad.
Yes.
Can I come over? My internet's down.
You're busy right now?
And as he said, I said, can I come over and do the show for me? He says, no problem, anytime. Love to have you here. This house is yours. So came in, did it from their dining room. Little bit of a slow internet issue, but the show got done. Yes. But I'm hearing, I guess I have to wait for a technician to come out. So by the time I get back home, it's working okay.
So like just glitch.
But the funny thing is, when I called the representative, their first thing was, if you plug the modem in, I'll just get a technician for you. There must have been some sort of outage. I don't know. I should have said to him, did you check the feed? I think you checked my feed coming in, but everything's okay now. I'm still black on the screen, or brown, or whatever you want to call it. So that's the way we're able to do. But that was good. So actually some updates here. Wayne Harris says the subway line was a pre-COVID. The amount of condos south of Bloor has grown so much that streetcars and buses won't be able to handle it. Also, Trudeau is bringing in 400,000 people anyway. Yeah, that gives me some clarity that with all the people living downtown. But my question, Wayne, and Toronto, just like that, it's starting at the Science Center and then PAPE and all that. How many I'd like to know, data, how many people in Eastern GTA travel downtown to work, because I have a feeling that's going to be a white elephant. I just have this really funny feeling. Yeah, Trudeau's bringing in 400,000 people annually. How many of them are going to be downtown? Living downtown and working downtown, because they won't be able, unless somebody's going to, they ain't going to be able to live downtown.
Right.
I'm just asking. Right. Now, Fitness IQ says most people use the GO. Well, but in Flemo, there's no GO train in Flemo. Sorry.
Okay.
Right. But this is interesting. Okay. So see, I love the family. They're chiming in here. So Wayne says, when you compare Toronto to Paris, New York, and London, we look like a joke. For the population, we should have 30 or more stations. Building today is 10 times more expensive. Renters' life there. Yeah, like the infrastructure of this city is so far behind, and it just keeps on falling behind. And the funny thing is, it just costs more and more. Like the spread from getting the things in place to the needs, and the costs are just widening. Like it's interesting. I'm going to touch base with this person I know in commercial real estate. We're going to continue on that. Renters live there. Yeah, they live their way, but do they work downtown? That's my question. Like how much? But there must be a lot of people, I guess. Again, maybe Actually, and this person I spoke with yesterday, they would love to get a melanated person who knows about transit in Toronto on the show. Do you know anybody?
Oh dear, there used to be the lady Patience Diamo from Crosslinks, but then she's moved to Acon. But she was part of that whole Eglinton Crosstown.
I'd really like to get some breakdown on some data on some how many people travel to downtown Toronto every day work, because I'm thinking pre-pandemic, during pandemic, post-pandemic, because I know slowly
Right.
but surely people are coming back to their offices, but there's still a lot of people now who are just either
Yeah, they
working from
must be
home.
tracking that.
I'm sure there's got to be stats somewhere. All right, Divine Right. Good morning from the DMV area.
Yay.
Wonderful, Divine Right. I just asked you a question. What is public transit like in your neck of the woods? I'd be very interesting. Wayne says carbon footprint reduction. Taiwo is at the yes, that's right. Taiwo Rainford. Yes, I should see him reach out to him.
Okay.
Kuda is at Metrolinx. I don't know who Kuda is, but Wayne, if you could get me the contact information, I would love to get them on the program. They probably have to get clearance from their organizations though to do that too.
Oh
Metrolinx
yes,
and
we know
TTC.
that. We know that song and dance.
Well, do we dance? Do we sing? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
we yeah. I won't even go there. It's like
Yeah, you
corporations, man.
You didn't say, hey, you didn't send me any gala updates. What's going on? Has everything gone quiet?
Listen, big gala was happening on Saturday that I was supposed to be at, but the polar vortex snowed us in. So, Black Mentorship Inc., Evangeline Chima, they had their yearly gala on Saturday, and it was in Oakville. So I'm pretty sure it still happened, but I didn't check in. I was just like, man, I can't get all the way out there. So that looked like it was going to be a really wonderful event. Shout out to them. I bought my ticket and I made a donation because I do believe in the work that they do. So congrats to they help with getting Black professionals mentors in their careers to help them progress in their companies. So yeah, the gala watch is still on. I feel like we've had one almost every other day. Is there one this week? I have to check if there's one this week.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yes.
I hope that. So we're going to get into something, and let's give a little backstory. If you've been watching, okay, let me just hold from it. Divine Right says, we have the metro train in my neighborhood and the bus lines as well, but they are still building out metro stations and they're going further out. These are areas that lack public transit still. So it sounds similar to what we have in Toronto, what's going on in the DMV. Okay. So for anyone, if people have been around a while, I mentioned a number of
live and well. Listen, going strong. I really can't believe how much we love galas. It's
the
funny,
rubber chicken circus live and direct.
It is a real thing. Like we love, and maybe it's not galas, but we just call them galas. I don't know, but we are definitely in love with dressing up and going to events.
Okay, but remember my 3.
Yes.
Drama, repetition, symbolism. Which so the galas is the symbolism. The last 2, in fact, if you look at it, maybe that's what those apply. All 3 apply to having these galas, because many of us have trauma and we want to be vilified. We want to be recognized.
Absolutely. Yes.
What do? We have galas over and over and over again, and then and symbolism. We want to look good.
Well, and Wayne broke it down on Friday when he was on about the cost of attending these galas. It can be upwards of $500 unless you're going to a Black North gala where the ticket is $1,000. But after spending that money for your outfit and transportation and everything and the food, it's like you might as well just give that money to the organization, because they
directly.
A lot of them don't make a lot of money on the galas because it's so expensive to operate.
And it's not being held at a place that they own.
There you go. So the money is just flowing out of our hands.
So here, since you're the gala king, I'd love you to ask some of these organizations, can you break down where the money goes for the ticket?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll push back. A couple have broke it down, and 80% of it is the venue and food. Like that doesn't even take into account marketing the event, the time of people in the organization to put it on. And that's where, unless they're doing it just for brand recognition, there are some organizations where their gala allows them to make people know who they are. Valid, but if it's a fundraiser, it's not effective. So we have to get. I'm telling you, we're gonna do our hot dog gala. $100 for a hot dog,
and we'll have your daughter make lemonade. Okay,
hot dog and lemonade gala. Book
there
it.
you go.
It is happening this year.
It's summer. All right.
But you know where I got that idea from? President Bush Jr. He did a hot dog fundraiser where he sold a hot dog. I believe it was for $10,000. A hot dog fundraiser, 10 grand for a hot dog, because hot dogs are cheap. All that money in your pocket.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's it. So let's continue on. Divine Right says, then you have areas who've been fighting because they don't want metro stations. There you go.
Here. And it's
keeping our gala watch. Wayne says, old heads love to eat for a cause. Asking for money and not receiving value in return is not our jam. Very interesting second sentence. Asking for money and not receiving value in return is not our jam.
Uh-oh. that went a bit deeper than you might have thought. That's
why I read it twice.
Yes. That is,
and then we go, true. Ryan is the gala king.
Right.
Emoji, crown emojis. I
need more suits, man. Who's a tailor out there that can sponsor my gala adventures?
There you go. And Wayne says most events for charity make less than 10. Wow.
Look at that. It's a lot of work for not a lot of return on investment.
Yeah, charitable golf tournaments are the worst. And I know Wayne has attended some of those, so he would know that.
Right. Speaking of which, the Grammys were this weekend. I didn't watch. There's a gala of all galas if you want to.
Well, Beyonce once more. She won 4 more awards. So she has 32 Grammys now. She's the most.
No, she broke the 32.
Yeah, she's the most celebrated Grammy winner of all time. And interesting, my conversation yesterday with Sarah Ayungo on Black Canada Talking. Go watch it or subscribe to the channel or go watch it. She's not a Beyonce fan.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, Sarah, the Bays are gonna
the Queen Bee something.
No, the Bay. I don't know. There's a Bay something they call the Bay Hive or whatever they call it. It's gonna come after you. She don't care.
The Beehive,
Beehive, yes, yes. But they did have a celebration about the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And I didn't watch it, but interesting enough, if anyone watches, there's a great series just started last week on PBS about the history of hip hop, and PBS usually does good stuff on documentaries. And not going to get into it too deep, but the Dr. Vibe show is going to be doing something in regards to the 50th anniversary of hip hop during the year.
Very cool.
So, oh man, look at this. The flying in Fitness IQ Cam. I didn't watch the Grammys, but I heard the hip hop. You heard it, but you didn't see it. Okay. And yes, she's got right. The Beehive. You don't go against the Beehive.
So I don't know who follows football, but the Pro Bowl was also happening on the weekend yesterday. Yes. So they had a halftime show with an artist called Ray Shremi or Shri Remy. Dr. Vibe, I feel like I became a parent yesterday. I felt so old. I looked at my sister-in-law because we were at Cher's parents' house. I was like, who is this person? And then she's like, I don't even know. So I go to my daughter. I was like, Jasmine, who is this? It was so terrible. And I'm like, am I that old man in the room now that is like, yo, back in my day, music was proper. Like, it was so bad. I couldn't even process how bad this performance was. It looked like a high school talent show act. I was just like, yeah, I'll accept my parenthood, and I am that that dad now. Back in my day, music was actually proper. It's turned into just garbage.
Well, look, you know what's interesting?
Absolute garbage.
We're jumping up all around the place today, but so let me just
yeah, I'm done with my rant. I'm done.
No, that's okay. Well, interesting. So here's the question, and I don't know if it's coming to Toronto, but people who are watching live or if you're watching the replay, put in your comments. The probably the big R&B tour, OG tour this year is Guy and New Edition.
Oh yeah.
So
You mentioned
would
that.
people go see Guy and New Edition live? Put it in the chat. And also, there's another tour. I don't think she's going to be coming to Toronto. Anita Baker is going to be touring, and Babyface is going to be opening. Would you go see Babyface and Anita Baker? Or, you know, and I did it on another platform. Who would you rather go? That's too many questions, so I'll leave it at that. All right.
That poll between if you had choice of one ticket.
If you had a choice, who would you rather go see? Would you rather go see New Edition and Guy, or Anita Baker and Babyface? There's a lot of funny. So let me catch up on the comments here because, okay, Christopher Lawrence, great suggestion. Jay Pitter, I'd have to find out how I could get in contact with her. I've only met her once, and that was a number of years ago, but she's very well versed in regards to urban development in Toronto. So I've put her name down on the notepad. Divine Right goes, I have to watch the Gammas for the hip hop lineup. Well, Public Enemy was there. Dr. Dre, Queen Latifah
opened it up. Yeah,
Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, Wayne Harris, Baywatch. Well, let me tell. And Bay is touring this year.
Okay.
And I saw in my Twitter timeline. This is now in the U.S. Some guy put a map of the arena that she's coming to. Lower bowl seats, $2,000.
There you go. Welcome to the Beehive.
So I know she's coming to Toronto also. You know, Wayne, you're a financial guy. Wouldn't it be interesting to just know what the financial status is of some of these people who are probably going to spend shekels? Like I know someone who's somewhat prominent on social media, and they're having an event in honor of Ms. Beyonce's tour.
Okay, look at that. And sorry, just in case people didn't watch the Pro Bowl, it has turned into a flag football game now.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody knew that was happening.
Didn't watch it.
Caught me off guard.
Didn't watch it.
It was all in fun, so it was cool.
But no, so we've number of comments fine here. Yes, Divine. Yes, they're known as Bee or the Beehive. And the funny thing is, interesting. Sarah was saying yesterday, and she was a little bit hard on Beyonce, saying Beyonce goes to different countries and gets different artists from different countries to come on. Why doesn't she come to Canada and maybe have someone like Julie Black do something with Julie Black on one of her albums? It's just north of the border. If you can go over to Africa, can't you just? I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Question is valid.
All right. Let's see what else was on the phone when it was happening, and it went from greatness to trash. Wow. So the hip hop segment was not good. Okay. Ooh. Divine Right goes, that's when you feel like a parent and old all at the same time. Fit Nads Cam, the new hip hop is absolute trash. Yes, I would. I don't remember the what question. Fit Nets come back to us on this. Yes, I'm trying to go. I need a sponsor.
Yes. Yes.
Wayne Harris, I would go if tickets are less than $100. I am dreaming. Old song by Vanessa Williams, dreaming.
You can stand outside and watch them come in for $100.
They probably charge you for that too. Jill Scott is going on tour this year, celebrating 23 years. That would be a concert to go see.
I would attend that.
That would good. So Divine Right says Guy and New Edition all day.
Okay.
Wayne Harris says New Edition and Guy would love to see him. I saw BBD at the amphitheater and they needed oxygen by the third song. High blood pressure pills were kicking in. Oh my. Okay.
That's cold
Where he
blooded.
says JC has a relation with Live Name and the tickets are thousands. Oh, so he's gonna probably get some cut from.
Oh, has to,
Okay,
has to.
of course. And look who's back, Dr. Tachi. Haven't
Nice
seen you
to
in a
see
minute,
you.
Dr. Tachi. How's the new network Indie Soup coming? Looking forward to it, Dr. Tachi. Most 5 p.m. Instagram Live, 6 p.m. YouTube, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, other platforms doing Mediascope, the hottest program for years on media tech and pop culture. All right. All right. But yeah, I would not. I'm scared to know how much these tickets are for these groups are these days because I just can't. I can't see. I'm not putting myself to spending all the kind of money. Like I remember, I think I've said it before. I remember seeing Anita Baker way back when,
Okay.
and I was sitting in between two Black Canadian greats. On one side was I gotta remember Jackie Richardson, and the other side was Salome Bay. And I was not a fan of Anita Baker, and they almost cussed me out if that I wasn't a fan. They made sure I was a fan after,
Oh
right?
man,
And
yes.
then after, at the time I was working in the entertainment industry, I had a chance to meet Anita Baker. Anita Baker
Okay.
ain't more than like 5 feet tall. And there
Wow,
she was
really?
playing in a white tracksuit with her white hoodie on a pinball machine. But one of the things with her is she's very claustrophobic. So she likes to have very tight sets so she doesn't feel like she's all alone in a big, huge space. But a very wonderful, wonderful lady. Oh, we
Interesting.
didn't know about this. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Tachi. I think it was over the
Lovely.
weekend. Yes, it was. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Tachi. And
Happy
also,
birthday.
Indie Soup is coming along great. Cannot wait. And for those who don't know, Dr. Tachi and her producer, Curtis, are launching, I'd say in the next few months, comfortably, at 24/7, all and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Tachi. No, it isn't. I wouldn't think it is. 24/7 online network. I was going to say something else, but I don't think it is. I don't want to prejudge, but it's launching soon, and you will see some of the content of here on that network. Interesting. Wonderful people in the U.S. can reach out, but here in this country, TikTok, crickets.
Yeah.
Man, lots of people on this morning. Fantastic. This is great. Hey, good morning, Dr. Vibe and Ryan. Good morning, everyone. Have a focus and purposeful week and be one first. You got it.
100%.
Be one first. And share night. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Tachi. Look at this. Divine Right says, oh, hold on. Here we go. I'm such a fan of Anita Baker. I have my mom's Anita Baker albums. Oh, I love those. Would love to meet her one day and get them autographed. Absolutely. And Dr. Tachi says, we want Canadian content. So see, they're looking. So, and I've actually reached out to one or two content producers that I know who reside in this country who are melanated. Oh, I don't know if I should. I say you're getting an opportunity to get into American eyeballs,
Right.
Black
You're
American
sleeping.
eyeballs. And I'm just going, oh, was it an old song by Simpin' A Easy? Was that Belle Biv DeVoe or was it Boys to Men? Simpin' Ain't Easy. You know?
Oh man.
Thank you, Cher. Great stuff. Yes. Good morning, everyone. This is wonderful. We can just chat and you guys just fly. Just comments and just like fly with conversation topics. So yeah, if you want our comments and anything, put it in the chat. I think we're gonna a fitness IQ cam. I love the family. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Tachi. Yes.
Nice.
And then, well, if they are humming and hawing, never mind. I love Dr. Tachi.
Exactly. Belt.
Oh,
There's time for that.
actually, I'm gonna pull something up. This is so cool. You want to? So if you don't know who Dr. Tachi is, we're gonna show you in a moment. But I'm gonna pull something up. This is so good. We're gonna pull up something in a moment, but yeah, this is great. So Ryan, did I not say about a year ago? Keep an eye that on this the government of Canada awarding a Black Canadian organization $200 million to oversee a fund to help. I said was it for Black nonprofits, or I don't know the exact
Well,
description
it's an
of it.
endowment fund. So
Endowment fund.
the proceeds from the endowment, if I understand it correctly, would then be able to be granted out to nonprofits and charities. Yeah.
Yes. And didn't I say a while back, and I said one of the things you got to watch for this year in the Black Canadian environment was that. Did I not say that?
You on this show, you said it. Yes. Like documented.
Okay. Yes. So you know what? Actually, before we do anything more, I'm just pulling up something here. So because I just want to show something really quick. So bear with me, family. We did a short tease on our next subject, but I want to show something. Okay, got it. All right. So if you don't know who Dr. Tachi is, if you don't know, you don't know. Okay, you're gonna find out in about 30 seconds. You're gonna find out who Dr. Tachi, what she's all about, and she probably doesn't even know about this, but I know that Divine Right does. All right. Okay, so this is Dr. Tachi. Here we go.
The traditional is always doing the traditional. If you're always doing the same thing, nothing changes. I don't care, what ethnicity, what color, what background these people have. You're just fitting yourself into the same thing. So instead of begging people, to put me on or for a seat at the table, I don't beg. That's one thing I don't do. So I'll create my own table.
Boom.
That's Dr. Tachi. I bet you she doesn't even know. She didn't know that. So that is up on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube page, a YouTube short. So Dr. Tachi, probably the first time you're even seeing it. There you go. Geez. Okay. You know what? People are, let's just hold on the $200 limit because people are just flying in with comments here. Cool. Tim goes, Ryan, watching Pro Ball NFL is now like watching best soldiers of Ukraine and Russia take a break and have a paintball war game.
Yeah, it has gone completely backwards.
And just a quick little aside about sports these days. Are there enough commercials on about betting on sports?
There are so many platforms, at least 10, and they have like a lot of money to advertise. So it is just like, yo, bet, and now you can bet like in the game on like what's gonna happen next.
Yes,
it's insane. It's so yeah.
Like all these players who you thought were like gone to the pasture, they're all doing. They all got these gigs. Yes. Doing sports. Thurman Thomas from the Buffalo Bills, he's on a bet. All these, like I heard a player that I go, how the heck did you get a deal with a bet? Like they're really desperate. Like what?
They did the call out. They're like, who else interested? And people just said, me.
Wow.
Like, so much money is being put towards that.
Okay. We're going to get to our $200 million because I see Wayne has brought it up. We're going to talk about it. So Kyrie Irving is now Dallas Maverick. For anyone who follows NBA, who cares? Kyrie Irving is so interesting. But with the weather so cold on some days, are you a Long Johns or team stay at home?
I draw the line at negative 20 plus and snowing. When it's both, I'm going to stay at home. If it's one or the other, I can deal.
It's interesting. Before February 2020, I found myself in Yellowknife.
Okay.
Northwest Territories. And I remember getting up one morning and I was looking at some pictures over the weekend. So I went into the hotel lobby and they had the weather network on. It was minus 26 degrees without wind chill. And it was minus 40 with wind chill.
Man. And we're like every day.
I took a picture of it. So next time we have a chop it up session, I'm going to see if I can show you that picture. I just want, because Ryan and family, that the moment I came off that plane, it was like I was on a business trip, but like 10 o'clock at night, Yellowknife Airport. It ain't no big airport. Like it's one of those propeller planes I took from Vancouver to Yellowknife.
Right.
So first of all, I'm going like north to the North Pole. If this thing crashes,
you're long gone. Nobody even know where you are.
Right? Then the plane lands. Blessings. Get off the plane, walking across the tarmac. I almost felt like running back into the plane and say, "Take me home."
Wow.
It was so cold.
It
was so cold. All right. Yay. Yes, Dr. Tachi. I thought we'd play that for you. So Ryan, you're a team. I'm a mix. Like I said, I was out helping someone move appliances on Friday.
Right.
So that was crazy. So Divine Right says we don't beg, we are creating tables.
Yes.
Friend of the family, Michelle Baptiste. Yes, good to have you here.
Love it.
Okay, and I wonder how much pressure this places on the players. Are you talking about the gambling thing, Christopher? Don't know what you're on that, so please give us some more content. Okay,
probably the betting, those betting platforms.
That's another thing. Yes, and of course, betting. Well, see, and that's the thing I heard, and it's interesting. I was listening to some sports commentary. They call it betting. They don't like to call it gambling. They don't say the word gambling on the sports shows. This is where put your bets. They never use the word gamble. They use the word bet. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, yes, let's talk about the Black Opportunity Fund and others. So, let's get back to our $200 million. So, was it last week, the Black Opportunity Fund submitted a post on Instagram saying, basically, they were applying for this $200 million fund to become the lead on it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, within 2 weeks, they got a response back from the government saying they were declined. They were saying we put over 500-page document together for this.
Right.
We got over 130 people approximately to endorse our organization. And then when we tried to reach out to find out, no further update from the government. We're just rejecting you. Fine, that's done. Now, Ryan is the man of social media. Talk to us.
Well, somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, a fireball might be coming," and then I saw the fireball, which are the social media posts that have been happening on Instagram, on LinkedIn, really, because remember, Black Opportunity Fund is quite a large organization. They're new, but they're quite established. So when they lean into something, LinkedIn has been blowing up, and they are very, not disappointed is like the wrong word. They're very concerned about the process that the government went through to pick whoever they picked. They haven't even said who. But for me, this is not new. I was part of talking about the process that the government does for picking stuff, and I got vilified. So when people are telling me now about what's happening with hey, God bless them. I am a fan of the Black Opportunity Fund. We work together. I am a fan of every organization that will propel the Black community forward. But now, is this going to derail the actual process of the money getting released? Because in that statement, in the press release, they did ask for a stay on the announcement of who got the money. So now remember, next election is going to be next year-ish, 2024, like end of 2024. So if this gets delayed too much and a new regime comes in, these things that have been promised to the Black community are all going to disappear, allegedly. But also remember, this isn't the only Black-focused big RFP that's out there. I don't know if anybody's remembered, but they put submissions in or called for submissions for the National Institute of People of African Descent.
Yes.
There has been no announcement about who got that project, and that was 2021, so over a year. And if I pull up my email, I sent an email to them, the person that you submit applications to, and the auto response that you get, and remember, this is 2021, is thank you for your interest in the Institute for People of African Descent. We still have not made our decision about who's going to stay tuned. So it's interesting that, and this is kind of what Black Opportunity Fund was saying, they made a decision very quickly, like within, I think, 6 weeks for the RFP, the 200 million. And then for the Institute for People of African Descent, it's been over a year and no announcement. So this is where we definitely have to look at how the government makes decisions, but this is not new. So I don't know, maybe this will bring light to it and we can actually get some transparency, but the government has their ways. So we should not be shocked. It really seems like they got caught off guard with, because if you do an RFP for the government, this is for people that haven't done one before. So if the government puts out a request for proposals, which is an RFP, sorry, the acronyms start to fly. So the request for proposal will go out. People will submit. The government does not have to ask you any questions. So to say that there needs to be questions asked is actually not true. So if you have a procurement bid for a contract and you put in your submission, you can ask questions, but they don't have to ask you anything, and they decide who gets it, and then that contract is awarded. You can request freedom of information to see who applied. I haven't learned how to do that exactly yet, and I want to see, because there's definitely some items that I would love to learn how people got them. But there was a whole Black procurement pilot where there was 12 projects selected. They didn't ask anybody anything. They just said, hey, apply, and we're gonna choose who we choose. So it's not within their process to ask questions and dig deep. They don't have to. Like, this is what they created.
What's the term Elder Louis March calls it?
With the funding Olympics. But imagine, so look at the ripple effect of what's happening now. So they create a fund, and this happened twice. So I'll give you two stories. The first story, they create this fund, $200 million. And in the RFP, the request for proposals, they say we're only selecting one organization. So what does that do? In the Black community, we have two choices. Either all organizations that are competent to run this fund would come together and put in an application and saying the Black community is ready to go. Or people create their own groups, and then we get multiple applications going in. So now, as soon as you get multiple, we're going against each other because there can only be one winner. And so I'll tell you the second story. The Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Fund, they only wanted to select one organization to run Black entrepreneurship in all of Canada.
Wow.
And I will tell you, I was part of that fight to make sure, because I knew that if ACBN is now going up against the BBPA, BBI, Black Business of BC, Tribe Network, 40 organizations, and only one gets selected, we're all going to be pissed off. Like, no matter, that's human nature. We get upset when we don't win things. So by God's grace, they opened it up. And again, even though 40 were selected, there was still another 40 or even 80 that didn't get selected. So I'll tell you a quick, I was in a room where somebody mentioned about the ecosystem, and they're like, yeah, and these organizations that got that money, I don't know what they're doing. That I'm sitting there like, is she talking about me? Because we did get it. So that aside, we have to look at how the government treats the Black community, especially when it comes to the money, because they sprinkle the money out there and then it makes us all infight. And we're seeing the personification of infighting at a high level with this RFP, the $200 million endowment. This could really tear apart the Black community, because now people are picking sides. I'm seeing in the LinkedIn post the comments going back and forth. This is like Democrat, Republican all of a sudden. Like, everybody either picks a side or you're against me. This is the opposite of empowering our community. So I'd rather say keep the money and let's work together.
Do it ourselves.
This is tearing us apart.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
uh-oh. Did I freeze? Let me know if I froze. Test. My internet fully gone. Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah? Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure if it was myself or Dr. Vibe that froze, but I'm here and would love to. You hear me? Yeah. I'd love to get your feedback on how the government is treating the Black community with these funds that they keep throwing out there. And again, the way that this RFP is rolling out, I'd be curious, have you picked sides? Because the Black Opportunity Fund, they are looking for supporters with what's going on. And actually, I can check the chat here. Oh, so you can hear me. Tim Frey was saying, if you gave your kid a large sum of money and they blew it with no real impact to show for it, would you give your kid a bunch more money? Listen, this is what I'm talking about. The way that the government gives out money to the Black community, they don't even track if it was blown. So remember, Tim, they are putting money into the pockets of organizations and not tracking. And this is what Louis March said when he came on. They're not tracking the impact or the impact in the measurements to see if it's effective. They're really saying like, hey, see, here we gave you money and now stop talking about us. You should be happy now. So it was sorry, Dr. Vibe. I thought it was me that froze.
No, it was the internet on my end. So
okay,
cool. Now. So, but I know you. This is one of ththese things I can let you rant for 2 hours, 3 hours about.
And I was catching up on some of the comments.
Yeah. Well, Wayne, it's before we went on live. Yes, myself and Ryan mentioned I'm going to reach out to Craig Welton today to see if he's willing to come on, and I don't know Dennis Mitchell, but I do know Craig. I've broken bread with Craig, so I wanted to give him some time, so maybe calm down, maybe a little bit, maybe he's not, but definitely I'm going to reach out to him. Michelle goes, the government works very swiftly. Tim goes, yes, BOF, phase BNI. The government looked for the ROA for the millions they've already given out to the Black ecosystem over the last 2 years, and it's been negative. What's that all about?
To be determined. So right now, and this is where like the research that we do about what entrepreneurs actually need is the programs that are created generating, like Tim is saying, the return on investment that is expected.
Yes.
The bad thing is that it is. So the reports that are going to come out are all going to be in line with what the government was expecting. What we should be asking ourselves is, what are entrepreneurs expecting? What do they want to get out of these programs? So me sitting in that room with the lady that was talking, actually it was a gentleman, sorry. So the person that was sitting and talking about the ecosystem, the people getting the money and not doing enough, that is an indictment on myself. I am part of that. So I have to be able to look, and we talked after to say, what is it that you were expecting? And unfortunately, they were expecting that the organizations that got the money were supposed to be granting out money, which is not what the ecosystem fund was for. So this is where there's miscommunication when people hear $400 million has now gone out into the Black community with the loan fund and the ecosystem fund. And a person will hear that and think, oh, so there should be grants for my business. I didn't get a grant for my business, so this whole thing is garbage. It's like, no. We have to be increase our communication so that people understand what's possible. But to her credit, to their credit, the government did consultations across Canada about the ecosystem fund, and in their own report, it said that people wanted to, as business owners, get grants as well with the money that's being rolled out. They took this information and did nothing with it. They said, we've already decided what this program is going to be, so it doesn't matter what you say in this consultation that they did themselves. They're not going to use the information. So business owners that needed grants, those are not available, point blank. And people can be pissed off about that, but this is how they roll. They already have their project in line.
Yep. So Wayne says can't have return on investment if they don't mandate KPIs.
But so this is where this is where it gets tricky, because they do have KPIs, but the question is, do they have the right KPIs? And for KPIs, again, the acronyms are flying. Key performance indicators.
Yeah.
So now, if the government says, and full transparency, we'll use my my application as an example. So we put in an application to say we're going to support Black entrepreneurs in Southern Ontario, and this is for the Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Fund. So we put in an application, we're going to support 250 Black entrepreneurs with specific investment readiness training. Okay. If they say, so hold on. So if they say yes, they say, you know what, this is great. They didn't ask how much additional revenue this 250 are going to increase. They didn't ask, are they going to hire a specific amount more? They didn't ask, is this business now going to go from sole proprietor to incorporation? They didn't ask, is this person's online brand awareness going to increase from 200 followers to 1,000 followers? So what Wayne is saying is, if those key performance indicators aren't there, then we don't know if this is impactful. But if they aren't asked for, if the only key performance indicator is the amount of entrepreneurs that I worked with,
that's it.
It is there.
Yeah.
So we're able to check the box, but we actually didn't have strong impact. So this is where we have to go deeper with how we're tracking our stuff.
All right. So let's go a little bit deeper here. Tim says, if you gave a kid a large sum of monies and they blew it with no real impact to show for it, would you give your kid a bunch more money? No.
So that I read that one because, so imagine this scenario. You have a child and the child knows how to complain to really get in your brain. Like, you know, that cry that babies can do where you just can't stand it. So the child knows how to complain and get stuff from you. So what you do if you use money to pacify your child is, here's the money, go. And then the child is quiet. So the child goes and does whatever they do, money's gone, and then they come back and they wail again and they cry and you're just like, here's some more. Think of the parallel with what the Black community does. We complain, the government gives out some money, and then we get quiet and we go off and do what we do, and then the money runs out, and then we come back and we say, hey, that wasn't enough, we need more. And then the government goes, okay, here's some more, and then we're quiet and we go away. So the government just wants us to be quiet. They don't actually want to empower the Black community. And I'll give you an example of why I know they don't. Red alert. Money was allocated $30 million for a loan program. We asked the question and we came together as a community and we said, you know what are the things that we're working on that would positively empower the Black community going forward? And the majority of the room said the credit union. You know what? If this credit union came into being, it would have more impact than us just individually as businesses getting money. So out of that 30 million, we requested the government, could you use 15 million, which is what the credit union needs, to now launch the credit union.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we can't do that. Why? I thought the whole mission is to empower the Black community and Black businesses. If that is a better use of the money, why can't you do it? Not to say, oh, it's a bad idea and we didn't have time. They said it's not possible. So now they're locked into what they think is going to help the community. The community says, no, this would actually help. But we didn't say you can't do both. Parallel. We can actually use money to support the credit union and use money to give out as loans. And they said we can't do that. So who are they really in favor of empowering the Black community if they won't give us what we actually need to empower the Black community? And I haven't heard a response since then. That's when I got blacklisted. That's when all of a sudden Ryan talks too much. This guy asks too much questions. It's like,
so this is why you should watch Black Canada Talking, because we have someone that's in the battle. So he's giving you game that is not rumor, but he is in there.
Yes,
him in there, right? So this is the thing, the funding Olympics. So let's continue on. How is BOF managing their assets? They have a 3-year track record versus others who have done it for decades. Well, good question. The question is, the others who have done it for decades, have they done it good?
Right.
Right. Like, so
because I would say Black Opportunity Fund is very well run. Like, there's nothing against the organization. Again, people have different perspectives on what they should be executing, but BOF chose to have a broad spectrum of how they want to help the Black community. So people that are in education, they're going to say they're not doing enough. People that are in healthcare, they're going to say they're not doing enough. People that are nonprofits, they're going to say they're not doing enough. People that are in business, we're going to say they're not doing enough, because it's very broad. And their target was $1 billion to be managing. So until they get to that critical mass, they're not going to be able to go as deep into each pillar of the Black community as people would want them to. So I'm definitely not an indictment on BOF, but
okay. So Wayne Harris has got to bounce out here. Hey, Wayne, thank you as usual, bringing the fire. And I've got to work on having Wayne Harris, Ray McMillan, and the next comment person here on together. Maybe Tim Frey too. Have a Black Men's Round, monthly Black Men's Roundtable. I'd love that. So Roger Dundas of buyblacks.com, him and his wonderful, beautiful wife, Camille Dundas.
Yes.
Number one Canadian Black online magazine. Number one. And I was going to say something, I'll keep quiet. Roger, I'm not going to say anything yet. So he says, Tim Frey, what's the source of the BOF face, BNI, etc.? The government looked for the ROI for the millions they've already given out to the Black ecosystem over the last years, and it's been negative. So Tim wants to know where that source of your comments. So here we go again. We got live comments going on. This is good. Divine Right, he's in the battle. Yeah, in the battle. Yes, Ryan is in the battle. Wayne hasn't left yet. It's so good. We should be followers of best business practices regardless of what they ask for. Agreed. Then if they ask for it at a later date, we have the numbers. Peace. I think Wayne's done now, but I agree. A number of Black organizations, for-profit and non-profit, lack governance.
So business practice, this is what Louis March was saying. The money will flow, the organizations will get quiet, and then eventually, as a parent, like Wayne is saying, you'd be like, yo, you keep coming back to me for money. Show me what you're doing. Like, because this money, the last bag of money I gave you should have kept you quiet for like 10 years, and then you're back next year. So now tell me what you're doing. And then you find out that your kid is on drugs. But I'm not saying Black, but you find out they're wasting the money. So
But it's interesting because I think I'm just thinking about, but isn't this the way they operate just in general, not just with the melanated community? So I'm
this
looking
is
at I'm looking at looking at an
yeah.
example here because let's take media industry.
Hmm.
Look how much money CBC gets. Not they're a public broadcaster. Let me go on the nonprofit side. Look how many tax incentives
Hmm.
private media outlets get. So they may not get the money directly, but they certainly their costs are reduced to operate. So this is, I think, and I got to look in this, maybe look in this deeper, get someone to talk with deeper. This is the way the government operates right across the board.
Absolutely. And this is where we can't be surprised by their process. This is their MO.
Yeah.
And it's been working for a long time.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why I appreciate the pressure that's now going to come out of what's happening, because they do need that pressure. But I don't know. And the one pushback that people had in the comments on the LinkedIn post was, where were you when this happened the last time? Like, be part of the fuller conversation, not just now it impacts you. And that's what happens. Until it impacts you, then you jump into the fire.
That's the thing. People don't, and people just jump in without looking at the track history. You've been talking and been in this, you've been in it for a long time.
And Sarah said it yesterday. She said, with these atrocities that are happening, if we're not engaged before it happens to your child, that's the only way you care. You have to engage before.
We have to be
do to prevent
proactive, not reactive.
Right.
That's what it really gets.
That was it stuck with me when she said that yesterday on Black Canada Talking. So
yeah, this is the thing that we have to own some of this.
Absolutely.
I think until we start owning it, we're not going to get ahead as fast as we can. Because like you said, Ryan, from where I'm sitting right now, this $200 million thing, this just from your comment, just what you're telling me is online, just going to cause a wider chasm.
And that is so unfortunate. Like that, to me, if we just pause for a minute and look at what, and Sarah said this yesterday too, or I think you said it, who wins out of what we're doing right now? We have to figure out, how does the Black community win? If this money rolls out and it causes this big divide, is that a win? If it then doesn't roll out, but we actually come together, is that a win? Because now we don't have the money. So how do we parallel? Let the money flow and we come together. Somehow this must bring us together. At minimum, call the town hall. Who are the organizations that even applied? I don't even know them all. So let's get them into a room. And I remember talking to you to say, let's get them on the show. Explain to us what an endowment fund is. Like that, people are hearing these terms, and I personally don't even fully understand what this money is for and how it exactly works. So explain it to the community. Let them pitch to the community. Say like, hey, what is your plan? That 500-page document, I would love to read it.
So, and I think I may have mentioned it on the show before. One of the organizations that applied reached out to me.
Okay.
And they're saying, we've done so much to help this, that, the other thing. I go, you've never communicated with me in my life.
Right.
So you're wanting my support, and I don't know, you've never communicated or even come, like I reached out to your organization to come on my platform. And you now want me to support. Now, we won't get into this today, but there is talk about the organization that one has allegedly, nothing's come out yet, the bid, but that's a whole other scandal, because if that comes out as it is, that's going to cause trouble. Rogers, I think we need to wean ourselves off of government, and I agree.
Big time. And this is where, when we came together and said the government is putting money into the Black community, but the way they're doing it keeps us on their titty. So what could we do to take that money, but then become self-sustainable? And that's where we said, okay, we would get way more leverage out of the credit union, because now the credit union leverages capital and can be able to loan out even more than what the government is promising, and for a long term. So this is where we wouldn't be reliant on the government in the long term. But they said no. They would rather give money that keeps you locked into coming back and asking for more, instead of, it's like the parent not teaching that child how to start their own business so that they can generate their own money and not have to keep coming back. That's not what the government does. They just try to pacify us.
Let's do some final last comments here. Racing agreed 100%, Roger, and exercising continuous futility, in my opinion. And it's not happening just in our country. Divine Right agreed, Roger. I'm in Virginia and have watched the government pull the plug on folks in this pandemic during some dark moments. Roger says all the business owners on this call should get an ACBN membership as a start. There you go.
Appreciate that.
There you go. There you go.
I'll clip that. That's an advertisement right there. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Because like I said, I knew there. I really got I knew the slippery slope was coming. Not saying I'm all that, but as I said, over a year ago, I reached out to a number of these organizations that were part of the ecosystem, which I'm tired of hearing that word, by the way, saying, congratulations, getting the money and funding. Why don't you come on my platform just tell our audience what you do? No one responded.
And from then till now, I think we've had 4 maybe that have come on eventually and said, hey, this is what we're doing out of 44. So people, we can do better than that.
Oh, no, the question is, do we want to do better than that? It's not we can. The question is, do we want to?
But this is what happens. We get our money and then we run to our corner
and say, see ya.
And then when the money runs out in 2024, everybody will be back and be like, oh, they didn't give us enough. I see it.
I saw that a long time ago. That's like I'm just saying.
We could do better.
So Roger wants, please email us the link, Ryan. So maybe you need to put the contact information next broadcast for ACBN so everyone can also see. We're giving you membership here. How much is it for an ACBN membership?
It is
Dr. Tachi. Go ahead.
$47 a month or $500 for the whole year. So
if you're a business owner, that's a tax write-off, by the way. Okay. Dr. Tachi says, really? Yeah, none of them responded. Dr. Tachi, none of them. And she said, terrible. I said, and Divine, I'd like to come on and talk about my business. Contact me. That's all you got to do. Contact me. That's it. It ain't hard. It's not hard. Come on.
And this is where being able to work with experts in the community. So talking with Tim Frey, we were able to adjust our programming, because when I said initially we only promised, hey, we're going to work with X amount of business owners, that isn't true impact in the Black community. We have to improve their customer service. We have to improve their sales process, increase their revenue. If we don't help businesses sell more and grow their business companies, we have totally failed, no matter what we call the program.
I'm not the BLNO. Ryan is, but I'm blessed, family, to get into some very high level environments.
Right.
Like before I came on the call this morning, I was privy to a conversation of this gentleman who coaches companies, CEOs. Some of them CEOs of these companies are running $500 million a year revenue companies. Well, and he was giving me game that I'm going to share with some people because I want the greedy. I don't want the needy. Sorry. So he's giving me some serious game that I'm looking forward to sharing with some people. So I'm just saying that ask questions, like let's do well. If you want to do better, you will do better. Let me put it that way. I'm not gonna make
100%.
I don't use the word assumption because it's one of the most dangerous words in the world. I'm not gonna make the assumption that everyone wants to do better and if everyone's ready to do better. That's a two-part thing. So Divine Right says, let's come schedule something for late February, early March. You know how to get a hold of me, Divine Right. We make it happen. All right. I don't think we've got anything else for today.
Nice.
I think we
Although
got.
to say, please attend our Legacy Symposium.
Oh,
We
yes.
purposefully do not do galas for ACBN. We do 2 days of work. So we come together to actually do workshops for your business, help you get investment ready. February 24th and 25th, we have Dr. George Fraser, first day keynote. He does not play. So we are not here for symbolism. We are here to make your business better.
You're having a symposium, but you're not here for symbolism. Okay.
Oh,
So Divine Right saying, is ACBN membership international or just Canada?
So it is technically international because we do have members from the US, but we have to customize some of the programming because the US has a bit different registration and opportunities as well. So we can support, but it's not as, I would say, we're not as experts in the US.
Yeah, because
but I am learning because we're like DK, my company is expanding to the US. So
yes,
I'm definitely.
And she's
learning.
asking, are those virtual, the workshops? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So you may have a new international member.
Sweet.
All right, so we're cleaning up for today. And again, family, we love it when the family comes on and you just drive the ship. So whenever we do these, and actually, you know what we got to do on Friday? We got to put out our next date where people can come on live with us.
Yes,
we have to. So
at least one open one coming up.
Yeah, we got to do one, especially for the month we're given, Black History Month.
Yes.
And so coming up on Friday, we're going to have two people from a play called The Flight that's going to be playing at the Factory Theater in Toronto from February 10th to the 18th. And it's a piece from Beryl Brain in a one-woman show. It's a one-woman show, and it centers around the life of Bessie Coleman, the first African-American and Native American to receive an international pilot's license.
Okay, sweet.
So we're going to have one or two people that are involved in that. So this is good. And Dr. Tash is saying, oh, that's great information. All right. So there you go. So any last words, Ryan, before we've burned out the place?
Hey, people, don't pick sides. If anyone makes you pick a side, please remind them that the only way we win is together and through collaboration. Join our study groups Tuesday evenings. We talk about how can we empower the Black community. Tuesdays at 6:00. Beyond that,
how can okay? You need what you need to do is you need to put your tagline or either or tagline. You got to put your website address.
Hold on, I put it into the chat. So studygroup.acbncanada.com. That'll take you to the Eventbrite so that you can sign up.
Okay.
What you want different voices. Yeah.
Okay. So we're good. All right. Let's clean up with everything here. Thanks, everybody.
Is one of your sessions this week, or is the last one next week?
It was last Thursday. It was again very well received. The third one is on. Well, I'm going to show right now the 16th coming up, and that's an Ask Me Anything session. So, what a great segue by the Media King. So join me February 16th to talk all things podcasting. Join me for the last part of the 3-part highly interactive free series. So check me out on that. And actually, if you did register for the first two, you do get actually it's on their website. No, it's on their YouTube page. So what I'll do next time on Friday, I'll give you the link to the first session, and hopefully by Friday they'll have the second session you can get from there. Or if you did register for any of the first two, you're going to have the link sent to you. So, and there is potential of me doing some more collaborations with that great organization. I got to give them full shout out because they've been promoting that thing like crazy on social media, which is absolutely wonderful. So I'm really, really blessed on that. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. If you do it on YouTube, also hit the notification button, like it on Facebook, wherever you're watching this, just subscribe. Really, at the end of the day,
please.
just subscribe. Would you like to promote your business or service on our show, like the McMillan Group has been doing for time now, which is beautiful?
Yes.
Contact me at dr.vib at the drvibeshow.com. And actually, thanks to all our sponsors, past and present, the McMillan Group, Ebony Occasions, and also Elemental Notes. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. You can watch replays of the Morning Vibe at there. So this has been a highly spirited session. Especially when Wayne Harris and Ray and Roger get
Roger
on.
and Tim.
The game. So heads up, if you guys are watching live on replay, I'm going to be reaching out to each one of you to see if we can get at least one day a month or all y'all come on.
Solid.
I think that would be, that's where Ryan and I will just sit back in the audience.
Right. Yes.
We're just going to steer the ship because them going to drive the ship and going to drive it hard. Really, really hard. Let's see. Last few comments here. Great show, Dr. Five and Galaxy.
Divine, right? I appreciate you. Yes.
King.
I will have my update next episode.
Dr. Tachi, great show as usual. Always mean the best. And I'm so glad you got a chance to watch that YouTube short, by the way. And let's see, what do we else we got here? Dr. Tachi, you know you have me. Absolutely. Dr. Tachi, Gala King.
I'm going to create that on Instagram.
I think that should be your new tag, your new idea on Instagram. Cher says, I find that there is way too much overlapping of services due to the lack of communication and collaboration between various organizations. I'm still waiting for support on barcoding my products.
See, like, what are the entrepreneurs actually asking for? That's what our organization should be focused on. 100%.
Exactly. Instead of just getting numbers, say, I did this with this many people. How did they move forward? Right. How did they, by being involved with the organization, how did they make a decision and take action? And what was that action? Yes. Bottom line. All right, family, we are back on Friday. Thank you for another quiet session of the Morning Vibe. We did Monday meditation on the morning.
Right. Vibe. Yes. This is my Zen. I feel good being able to get to talk and share with the people. I love it.
All right. So, family, we will see you on Friday. Remember, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Sorry for the technical glitch in the middle, but we stayed on.
Yes.
And we will see you on Friday. Be well and keep the faith.